Hello, everybody. Good to have you all here. It's Tuesday, 19th of April 2022. So glad to be here with you all of you. And we will start to talk about, not start, we keep going, to talk about chapter 18 of the Gospel according to Spiritism. Hi, Paula. How are you, my dear? Thank you for your message. So, it's a Sunday in Ireland. That's why I have to put my curtain here. It's a lovely day. I hope everybody's enjoying this good weather. Okay? And enjoying the good weather and listening to us, So, again, let me see. It's good here. Well, we need to start or restart our chapter 18 here, because last week we had Roberto Watanabe with us. Okay, so I will do the initial prayer, then we do a little recap, and then we move on. Okay, so I want to invite everyone to have a deep breath. Close your eyes if you can, if you want. And let's raise up our thoughts towards our mentors, towards the mentors of the country you are living in. Ask them to enlighten ourselves, filling up our needs in order to fulfill our duties, our mission, giving us knowledge and wisdom and practice. The gospel according to Spiritism on our day to day. So be it. Amen. Okay. So, chapter 18 talks about many are called, but few are chosen. Okay. So, not last week, but the week before, we saw the narrow door. We read about got more. There's another parable, the parable of wedding feast. So we saw these two parables 2 weeks ago, the narrow door and the wedding feast. The wedding feast was more like a way to compare with the kind of people we do have. The narrow door, it is one way to say we need to cross this narrow door. And to cross this narrow door, we need to be ourselves. We cannot carry pride, we cannot carry prejudice, we cannot carry selfishness. So all this is inflating us, and we cannot go through the narrow door. And of course, it's tough to go through a narrow door instead of going through a wide door. Okay, so because it's more difficult, requires a lot of efforts from ourselves to move on. Okay. Let me let me keep going now. We will start again on item 6, and we go up to the item 12. Okay. And on item 6, the main topic is not all who say, Lord, Lord, will enter into the kingdom of heaven. And it's interesting to understand why why not all who says, Lord, Lord, will enter into the kingdom of heaven. Let's recap a little bit. We know there is no punishment. We know there is nobody playing chess and say, "Hey, Stevan is doing this. I will act like this just because I don't like him." No, there is nothing like this. God doesn't play that game, and even though our our instinct and our common behavior, it always says that God is punishing me. God is playing with me. But that is nothing like this. We always think we are punished by something. Oh, I did something. Uh, the first the first thinking that come up to our mind is, oh, I will not the punishment. I do not deserve that. No, what I have done in order to deserve that punishment. What I have done, I am a very good person. I always like to help my friends. I practice charity. I do this, I do this, I do that, I do that. But at the end, God is punishing me because why am I going through this difficulty? Okay, and and we learned on question 614 of the Spirit's book that we only suffer when we deviate from the natural law or God's law. Sorry. So, in other words, we will only suffer when we are not practicing such laws. It's simple. And we we see it as a punishment. Oh, but again, Stevan, where are these laws? I can read it in order to avoid me to suffer in the future, so I will know what what to do in order to avoid this. And I would say you do not read. You don't need uh, even copy that, because according to question 621 of the Spirit's book, the God's law or the law of nature are in our conscience. So wait a minute. You are saying to me that I know the law, I am aware of the law, And even though I do not follow it, and I need to suffer the consequences, and instead analyze, instead of revisit my decisions, and sorry, and rethink the way uh, I do things, this will make us suffer. And my answer is yes. You already know what's going on. You already know what's the consequences. You already know what to do. And most of the times, we know what to do. We know what's the right thing to do, but even though we don't practice it. Sometimes we know that the true thing to do is this, but in order to be in a in a good position with be in a good position with the society, we sometimes bound as per society laws, which is completely different to the natural law or divine law. It's completely different. There's no correlation. What's the difference between these two laws? One is made by men, and all the time we need to amend, we need to adapt, we need to organize our ideas. We need to sometimes go by our analogy. However, God's law is immutable. Nobody changed. Why nobody changed? Because they need to be changed. And again, this is in our conscious, and we will starting to get aware of these laws as much as we evolve. So, as much as we are progressing, these laws will be more not close. What's the word? These laws will be more near to us and give us the awareness of what's going on. That's the rules of these laws. So you know what to do. For example, kill someone. You know this is wrong. I don't need to tell you this is not good. Okay? But I don't know. Back to 1790 something or 17th 18th century up to 19th century, they used to kill in name of honor, or going to a kind of dwelling. Oh, I'm challenging you to go with me because I need to defend my honor. I need to to do something, you know. Hey Ma, good to have you here, my dear. Missing you a lot. I hope everything's okay with you. So this is some points we need to understand, that as much as we are evolving, we are kind of more aware of these laws. Okay, happy days. Okay, so this passage here, because we read it here, if you read, you will see Matthew 7 20 to 23, 21 to 23, Matthew, Matthew from 21 to 27, and Matthew from 5:19. So the lesson, if we squeeze this, the main lesson of these passages of the Bible here says to us that we need we need uh, in order to succeed, live as per God's laws. That's it. That's what they're saying here. Okay, it's not just saying, oh Lord, or Jesus, or whatever name you call it, but your actions are completely different from what you are saying. You cannot go any further if you don't respect the basic, you know. So what's the basic? The basic is the natural laws. And when we start to go in a different directions of these laws, we suffer. We have to reap the consequences of our actions. But sometimes, and most of the times, we try to blame someone. Oh, he pushed me. You saw, I was forced to do it. I didn't want to do it, but I was forced to do it. So if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Doesn't matter if someone's gonna push you or not. But sometimes we prefer to be even with the law of society instead of law of God. Reasons, I would say, perhaps because with the law of society, we can see, we can discuss, we can try to manage it. Law of God, we cannot manage, we cannot discuss. It's there, you must follow it. And never forget that these laws are here in your conscience. Okay, Lou, my dear, great to have you here. So let's see. What's necessary for us to reach the kingdom of heaven? I think it's clear now. We need to follow God's laws. Okay, and what is the role of a religion in this mixture here? The role of religion is to free you, to show you what the passage, what's the behavior you must have. I don't know, perhaps you are a very nervous and anxious person, and instead you learn how to wait. You want, oh, I need this now. I don't want to. You will have consequences. You will have problems, unfortunately. But it's up to you. So we need to be aware that everything we do, there are some consequences. And this is one of the hardest lessons for not just for the Spiritists, but for the Catholics, for the Protestant, for the Buddhists, for everybody else. I would say for the Buddhists because they live in their temple, so uh, they have to get rid of this attachment to the material things. So once they know how to do it, the process becomes easier, and at the end, it's a huge contribution. And what we're gonna do with the border here? Just what do we have to do? What do you need to do in order to progress? Face the challenge and move on. Get rid of pride, get rid of selfishness, get rid of greed, get rid of our passions. Okay? Okay, let me see what I have here more. 78. I forgot to say something here because even though this concept of divine law, it is something big, we need to be aware that the salvation is individual. We need the society, but at the end, it's only you capable to go through your mission, because this is tailored to fit you, not me, as well as my mission is tailored for me with the backgrounds, with the desire notes, everything as per me. Nobody else. And this is what we need to understand, that the salvation is something individual, is an individual process. However, we will not reach salvation if we do not live in a society, if we not live in a spiritual world, but in a form of size. To understand. Okay. I mean, water. Patrocínio, my friend. Thank you. So, again, the salvation is individual, but the process is collective. Okay? Happy days. Move on. Let's move on. The next chapter it is much will be asked of one who has received much. What means what this expression means? Much will be asked for those asked of the one who has received much. We always want to be good, you know. We always, that's our pleasure. I want to be rich. I want to have a good house. I want to live in a different country. I want to live. Oh, if I live in a different country, I will do this thing different. If I have money, I will buy a car. If I have this, I will buy this laptop. If I have money, I will buy a new laptop. I will buy a new phone. So It's always if. You will never create something for you now. What's make you happy now? What's the point for all this suffering if you don't have a little bit of fun? What's the point? You don't need to suffer eternally. No. You will suffer. Yes, you will, for sure. We will suffer when you have someone who wrote in your toy. You will suffer in your toy. Yeah, you will suffer if you have different situations. You will suffer. No, why we suffer? Because we are deviating from the God's law. You know, and the society always push us, always push us. It's very difficult because we need to do this, but our conscience don't get us free. You know, and for those who receive a lot, they need to multiply it. They need to share it. A lot means a lot money, wealth, or a lot of humbleness. What's the lesson we need to learn with them? So, in both ways, we need to learn. It's not because I didn't receive a huge money, we didn't. We needed to be different. If you have received something, you need to do something. I'm not saying you need to donate. Oh, I donate. I am not attached to the material. I donated everything. Okay, great. It is something, but let's be reasonable here. How much do you need to live? How much do you need to afford your retirement or something like this? Then you give up working. But we don't apply this in our real life. So, what do we need in order to evolve? Oh, I need to work my pride. You will fall in situations in which your pride will be exercised, and you are the one who needs to decide. You know, let me check here. But Stevan, you said that as much as I learn, as much as I know, as much as my knowledge is developed, more it is my responsibility. Yes, if you ask me that question, the answer is yes. But Betty, thank you, my dear. Thank you for being here. But we needed to. Well, let me see the example. But when you act, but you are not aware of this practice, you are not aware of this law. You are new. So we can say that the ignorance in terms of lack of knowledge, okay? Lack of knowledge means ignorance. So when we have this ignorance, it is up to us to do whatever we have. We will suffer, not necessarily, because you are not aware of that law. You didn't develop your conscience. In other words, you didn't open that door. Okay? We have opened many others, but that door you didn't open. This is one of the reasons why the Pope, for example, it's they need wise people choose him, based in what? I have no idea, but they choose him. So we need to understand that our life, it's under our control. You may say, oh, Stevan, I don't think this is right because I have the impression that my life it's controlled by someone. Perhaps yes, how it is. Hmm? Tell me. It's difficult, isn't it? It is difficult. Okay, let me see. Okay, that's a fair play. A fair play question we have here. If I let me get an example. If we are getting better in our knowledge, with getting better in our knowledge, we will have more responsibility. Having more responsibility means having a better forecast. Having a better forecast of what we need to do, what we want for ourselves, what we need to plan. Everything needs a forecast. For example, what I have to prepare dinner, what I need to dinner, what's my lunch. I will eat meat, I will eat lettuce, I will eat cereals, I will don't do anything. So it's up to you. And here applies the same thing because I can say like, hey, everything is fine. Everything is perfect. Why we don't go to the gym and say, hey, I need this, I need that, and you know the consequences because you already measured the consequences. You know when you say yes, a lot of things will happen. If you say no, a lot of things will be still on hold. Okay, let me see if I can change this here. It's on full screen. Yeah, because some people are saying they cannot see properly. Well, it's there. So, uh, we can say, okay, if Stevan, That the math is simple. If I evolve, I will acquire conscious, I will acquire knowledge. And as much as evolve, as much as acquire knowledge, I will need the consequences, more responsibility. No, I was doing this thing, now I do this thing. So it means you need to be compensated because you're spending more time working, you spend more time researching, you spend more time in doing meetings until you have time to go through that list and say, hey, this is ready. Building a cheese and a ham sandwich is easy. Yes, it is easy for other people. It's always easy with somebody else, except with you. Except with you. Another thing we can say here. Okay, if I know more, I will have more responsibility. Okay, stop it. I don't want to learn anymore. What I know, I know. What I will know, I don't want to know. Well, well, I didn't like the rhyme, but that's the point. So what are you gonna do? Yeah, because you can say, "Hey, I don't want to evolve. If I cannot handle the situation now, can you imagine if my body die, I reincarnate again, and need to start dealing with that again because I didn't close that bridge." Okay, so and what's the main role of the spiritism? What does spiritism teach us? Spiritism teaches. One second. Spiritism teaches us that we need to exercise. Hey, Sabrina, long time I don't see you, my dear. Thank you. You made my day. Thank you. Courage. That's it, Lou. We need courage to move on. Because, again, we will never, ever go back. A lesson learned is learned. Okay? Full stop. You don't need to repeat again. I learned. Okay? But all the others, because we don't need to learn just one lesson. We need to learn a lot of lessons. So I will play dumb here. I don't want to know. So you will be pushed. The consequences, life is evolving. It's like I saw, I think it was yesterday or a day before. I saw on Facebook someone post a message, uh, uh, for how long do you use a computer? So they start like if it was like 12 months ago, they put a very nice laptop the way we have today. If they go like to 15 years ago, it was that laptops with Windows, totally different, what I mean. And then go and they 30 years, it was uh, small, still small, but I'm using computers since they start when we have that DOS. The database is big, all connected. The screen was connected with keyboard, it's connected with everything. We have the green screen here. So it evolves. Even though I don't say I don't want, it will evolve. What I'm saying to you, if I didn't try to evolve myself, and I would just want to know, uh, let me see here one second. Sabrina, I would like to remember the things I learned this lifetime so I don't make same mistakes. Well, Sabrina, you remember, but you only remember those things who matters. Again, I'm saying here, society pushes to do different things. In that situation, the right thing to do is one thing, but because, oh, I want to avoid to have problem with that neighbor. I want to have avoid the problems with my family. I want to have avoid the problems to have with him, with her, with you know. You do something different, but it was clear in your mind. That's the right path to do. But more often we do this. So you do have this. You just need to access the information. You need to access what makes sense for you. And that's the main point here. Because if you want to emphasize you are ignorant, you're not wiser. We can use that. Where we're going to build your house? In a sand or in a rock? If you do everything but you build your house in a sand, with a flood, with a wind, it will fall. However, if you build this in a rock, it's gonna be tough to destroy this house. Where are you putting your house? Where are you putting your knowledge? Are you repeating the same mistakes, Serena? So you need to analyze it. You need to understand what's the right thing to do. Oh, is this? Should I follow or not? Should I keep learning or not? Is up to you. It's already there. You just need to know now how to evaluate it, how to bring this in your advantage, because most of the times we need to do things we don't like. And this was happened with the Pharisees. Why Jesus always the time say, well, the Pharisees don't be like a Pharisees. Why? Because they knew the law, but they didn't practice it. They knew what it was good, but they didn't practice. Hey, Leah, my dear, thank you. Good to have you here. So this is what we need to learn. This is what we need to understand. We need to start doing the right thing, even though these go against a lot of people. What is the right thing? I found a bag full of money, but in that bag we have a phone number and a person's name. I found this bag. I called the number. I have that written there. And the person was desperate because they have lost the money and say, hey, here's the money, come here to collect it. I don't get a cent, a penny from it. The person comes, say thank you to you, grab the bag, and go away. What are you going to think? Oh, what is my compensation? I should have got some money for me, and then I would call that person to come and pick up. But our expectation kill us, because the person did the right thing. She lost, you found, you contact her, she wants to say thank you, she's really thankful, and walk away. But we need, oh, what is, oh no, she shouldn't give him the money. Well, you did the right thing. But we like to question. We like to change it, to modify it. We want to make this crazy. And then we get lost. When you have this sensation, you need to stop everything. Go do something. Go walk the dog. Go to a coffee, drink a wonderful coffee. Go have a walk. Let's do something different. Sleep on it. Then you do the right thing. Then you will do the right thing. It's up to you. It's up to you. Okie dokie. Huh? Celeste, you got a mail. What are you saying? You got a mail? Let me see if I forget anything. No, that's it. Because on item 13, we will start the instructions from the spirits. Okay. Yeah, so we shall stop here because I don't want to enter the instruction of the spirits. We need to stop here. But that's the point. We need to learn how to differentiate. AOL, yes, I do have AOL. Yeah. This is my email for marketing things. This is my garbage mail. No. Everything I don't want to receive, I give them that email. But it's an old one. Yes. Yeah. So you got my point, guys. I think that today is we live in a society. Society expects something from us, but we do have Windows 95, yeah, but we do have the Spiritism teachings. It's a conflict. My behavior, what they expect from me. We need to know how to balance. And it is difficult. It is very difficult, my friends. Believe me, it is. I think that's the main lesson for today. And I hope you got it. If you have any questions, please let me know, because we still have a little bit of time. But if you do not have questions, like, we can wrap up 10 minutes early. It's up to you guys. Let me know. Okay. So don't forget, Leah, I'm wrap up now because 8:30 we do have our virtual healing. And I tell you something, guys. Don't tell anybody. Just me and you. Nobody listens. Just me and you. Today is Leandro's birthday. Okay? But don't tell anybody that I said it. Today is Leandro's birthday. So go to the virtual meeting and say to him, write in YouTube, happy birthday, Leandro. Okay? But don't say I said that. Okay? Just between me and you. Okay? But by the way, Leandro, happy birthday, my friend. Happy birthday. Thank you for all your efforts you and your mom's doing with this virtual healing. Thank you. Okay. Tomorrow we do have the spiritual light show. Also, we do have the study. If you want to be part of the study, Nadia will give you a second. Nadia will give you the Zoom details. And Thursday we'll be here with the Spirits book talking. Okay? So I didn't get any questions. So I want you to say thank you. Let's do our final prayer. So, good friends, spiritual friends, thank you for your time, for the inspirations, for the lessons learned today. Please allow us to get wisdom and understand how we need to balance between the right thing to do and what the society expecting from us. May this knowledge will guide us how to balance this, how to go any further in order to evolve, in order to grow as a person, as an individual being, as a spirit. Please look after those brothers and sisters who are going hard times, hardships. At the same time, go through those leaders, especially Vladimir Putin and his staff, his main counselors, to stop this nonsense war. But also goes to the other leaders. As we know, there is no right or wrong. Please, looking after ourselves today and ever. So be it. Amen. Okay, thank you. Guys, don't forget virtual healing 8:30. So it's in 20 minutes. Just go to YouTube page, search for Spiritism Ireland, the Spiritism Society of Ireland as well, either one, and it's there. 15 minutes, 10 minutes, no more than this. Okay? Thank you. Have a nice day. I'll see you tomorrow with Spiritual Light. Thank you. Bye-bye.